My mother-in-law said in front of everyone, "I wish my son had married a real woman, not you." And me, I just put my head down and cried. For 5 years I lived like that, in the shadows, in silence, worthless, until my 30th birthday, the night I was sitting alone in my small apartment and an email arrived. "Congratulations, Ms. Eve. Your startup has been sold for $2.3 million. And 2 hours later, my husband knocked on the door and said, "My family is bankrupt. They're losing their house. Eve, you have to save them." And I opened the door, looked at him, and said something he never thought he'd hear from my mouth. "Sit with me, baby. Let me tell you about the first time I met my husband's family. It was a Sunday afternoon in April. We'd been dating for 6 months. Daniel was sweet, kind, respectful. He worked as an accountant, stable job, good man. "My family's having dinner," he said. "I want you to meet them." I was nervous, honey. So nervous. I wore my best dress, did my makeup nice, brought a homemade pie. His family lived in this big house, beautiful, expensive, in the suburbs. His mother, Patricia, opened the door, looked me up and down, slowly. "So you're Eve," she said. Not warm, not cold, just assessing. "Yes, ma'am, it's so nice to meet you. I brought apple pie." She took it without looking at it. How thoughtful. Inside, I met the rest of them. His father, Richard, quiet, distant. His sister, Melissa, 32, divorced, bitter. We sat down for dinner. And baby, that's when it started. "So Eve," Patricia said, cutting her chicken with precision. "Daniel tells us you're a teacher?" "Yes, ma'am. I teach art at Jefferson Middle School." Art. She said it like it was a disease. How nice. "And what does that pay these days?" Daniel shifted uncomfortably. "Mom? I'm just asking, sweetheart. It's important to know these things." "About 38,000 a year," I said quietly. Melissa snorted. Actually snorted. "That's it? Girl, I spend that on shoes." My face burned, honey, burned with shame. "Melissa," Daniel said. His voice was tight. "That's rude." "I'm just being honest," she said, shrugged. "If you're gonna marry her, you need to know what you're getting into. She's not exactly bringing anything to the table." Patricia nodded. "Melissa has a point. Marriage is a partnership, Daniel. Financial compatibility matters." I wanted to leave. Right then. Just stand up and walk out. But I didn't. I sat there, smiled, stayed quiet. Because I loved Daniel, and I thought if I just proved myself, they'd accept me. Listen, honey, Daniel and I got married anyway. Small wedding. His family came, but they didn't contribute. Not a dime. "We already spent so much on Melissa's wedding," Patricia said. "You understand." I understood. I understood perfectly. We moved into a small apartment. 1 bedroom, 1,500 square feet. It was all we could afford. Daniel's salary covered most of the bills. Mine covered groceries and utilities. We were okay. Not rich, but happy. Or at least, I thought we were. Baby's family visited once a month. And every single time, it was the same. Patricia would walk in, look around, wrinkle her nose. "Still in this tiny place? Daniel, when are you going to upgrade?" "When we can afford it, Mom." "If you'd married someone with a real career, you could afford it now." She'd say it right in front of me, like I wasn't even there. Melissa was worse. She'd sit on my couch, look at my second-hand furniture, my small TV, my IKEA dishes. "Girl, this is depressing," she'd say. "You really need to get a better job. This teacher thing isn't cutting it." "I love teaching," I'd say quietly. "Yeah, but love doesn't pay bills, does it?" Daniel would defend me. Sometimes. "Melissa, that's enough." But never strongly, never forcefully. He'd say it and then change the subject, like he was embarrassed too. The worst part, honey? The family dinners. Every Sunday. At Patricia and Richard's house, big fancy dinners. Patricia would cook these elaborate meals, show off, and she always make a point to ask me to help in the kitchen. Eve, sweetie, can you wash these dishes? Eve, can you set the table? Eve, can you clean this up? Meanwhile, Melissa would sit in the living room with the men, drinking wine, laughing, being treated like a guest, and I was the help. One Sunday, I was washing dishes. Patricia came up beside me. "You know, Eve," she said quietly, "I always thought Daniel would marry someone more. Someone ambitious, successful, someone who could contribute." I kept washing, didn't look at her. "You're a sweet girl, but sweetness doesn't build wealth. And this family, we value success." My hands were shaking, baby. Shaking so bad I almost dropped a plate. "I'm doing my best," I whispered. "Your best isn't enough," she said, and walked away. For 5 years, honey. 5 years I took it. The comments, the judgment, the disrespect. Daniel would apologize after. "I'm sorry, baby. They don't mean it. They're just protective." "They hate me," I'd say. "They don't hate you. They just need time to warm up to you." 5 years, and they never warmed up. But baby, let me tell you something. While they were busy disrespecting me, dismissing me, treating me like I was nothing, I was building something. See, I'd always been creative, always loved art, but I also loved technology, coding, design, digital things. At night after Daniel went to bed, I'd stay up, working on my laptop, teaching myself graphic design, web development, UI, UX. I started a side business. Small, freelance graphic design work. Logos, websites, branding. Made a few $100s here and there. Then a few thousand. I didn't tell Daniel. Didn't tell anyone. It was mine, my secret, my escape. And then one day, I had an idea. What if I created a platform, a marketplace for teachers to buy and sell educational resources, lesson plans, worksheets, digital materials? I worked on it for 2 years, every night, every weekend, building it, coding it, designing it. I called it EduMarket, launched it quietly, just put it out there, didn't expect much. Within 3 months, it had 10,000 users. Within 6 months, 50,000. Teachers loved it. It saved them time, money, energy, and I was making money, real money, more than my teaching salary. But I didn't tell anyone. Not yet. Honey, let me tell you about my 30th birthday. Daniel forgot. He was busy with work. Didn't even call until 7 p.m. "Hey, baby. Sorry. Crazy day. I'll make it up to you this weekend." "It's okay," I said. It wasn't. But I said it anyway. His family didn't call, didn't text, nothing. I sat alone in our apartment, ate takeout by myself, felt sorry for myself. And then my phone buzzed. An email from a venture capital firm. "Dear Miss Eve Thompson, we've been following EduMarket's growth with great interest. We'd like to make an offer to acquire your platform. We're prepared to offer $2.3 million for full acquisition. Please let us know if you'd like to discuss further. Best regards, Harrison and Associates VC." Baby, I read that email 5 times, 10 times. $2.3 million for something I built in secret, while everyone told me I was useless. I started crying, laughing, shaking. I called the lawyer I'd hired 6 months ago when the platform started growing. "Is this real?" "It's real, Eve. They're legitimate. And that's a good offer. You should take it." "I'm taking it," I said. The deal closed in 3 weeks. The money hit my account on a Tuesday morning. $2.3 million. After taxes, about $1.5 million. I stared at my bank account on my phone. Just stared. In disbelief. I was a millionaire. Me, the useless teacher, the girl who brought nothing to the table. I didn't tell Daniel right away. I needed time to think, to process, to decide what this meant. That night, Daniel came home from work, looked stressed. "Rough day?" I asked. "Yeah." "My dad called. Their business is in trouble. They might lose the house." His parents ran a furniture business. Apparently, it was failing. Bad investments, poor management. "I'm sorry," I said. "They're asking for help," he said quietly. They need a lot of money, Eve, like $200,000. I didn't say anything. "I know we don't have that kind of money," he continued. "But maybe we could take out a loan? Use the apartment as collateral?" "I can't let them lose their house. Baby," I looked at my husband. This man who'd watched his family disrespect me for 5 years. Who'd apologized, but never really defended me. Who'd let them treat me like I was less than. And I said, "No." "What?" "No, we're not taking out a loan. We're not risking our home. Not for them." "Eve, they're my family." "And what am I?" I asked. My voice was calm, quiet, but hard. "What have I been for 5 years, Daniel?" He looked confused. "What are you talking about? Your family has treated me like dirt since the day we met. Your mother said I wasn't enough. Your sister called me useless. They've disrespected me, dismissed me, made me feel like I was nothing. And you let them." "That's not fair." "It's completely fair," I said. "And now they want my help? Now they want me to save them?" "They don't even know about—" "About what?" I interrupted. "About the fact that I could help? That I could write that check right now and not even blink?" His face changed. Confusion. Realization. "What are you saying?" I pulled out my phone, showed him my bank account. $1.5 million. He stared. "What? How?" "I built a business, Daniel. While your family was telling me I was useless, while you were apologizing for them instead of defending me, I was working, building, creating, and I sold it for $2.3 million. He sat down, heavily, like his legs couldn't hold him. "You're a millionaire?" "Yes." "And you didn't tell me?" "I'm telling you now. Listen, baby. What happened next, I'll never forget." Daniel's face went from shock to hope. "Eve, baby, this is amazing. This changes everything. We can help my family. We can—" "No," I said. "What?" "We're not helping them. Eve, they're in trouble. They're in trouble because of their own choices," I said. "Their own mismanagement, their own arrogance, and I'm not bailing them out. They're my family." "And I'm your wife," I said. My voice was rising now. "I'm your wife, Daniel, and for 5 years, you've let them treat me like I was beneath them, like I was worthless. You stood by and watched. You apologized in private, but you never stood up for me in public. You never told your mother to stop. You never told Melissa to shut her mouth. You just let them." He looked like I'd slapped him. "That's not fair." "Life's not fair, baby," I said, using the nickname coldly. "Your family taught me that. Baby, that night I told Daniel I needed space. To think. To figure things out. I packed a bag, went to a hotel, a nice one. For the first time in my life, I could afford it. And I thought, really thought, about my marriage, about my life, about what I wanted. 2 days later, Daniel called. "My mom wants to talk to you." "About what?" "About everything. Please, Eve, just hear her out." Against my better judgment, I agreed. We met at a coffee shop. Patricia walked in wearing her usual expensive clothes, designer bag, perfect hair. She sat down across from me, looked at me, really looked at me. Daniel told me, she said, about your business, about the money. I didn't say anything. I was wrong about you, she continued. I judged you. I dismissed you. I thought you were not good enough for my son, and I was wrong. You think? I said. My voice was ice. She flinched. I'm apologizing, Eve. No, you're not, I said. You're trying to manipulate me. You're trying to make nice because now you know I have money, because now I'm useful. Her face tightened. That's not. Yes, it is, I said. If I was still just a teacher making $38,000 a year, you wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't care. You'd still be calling me useless behind my back. Eve, tell me I'm wrong, I said, leaning forward. Tell me that if I didn't have this money, you'd still be here, apologizing. Treating me with respect. She opened her mouth, closed it, couldn't. That's what I thought, I said. I stood up, started to leave. Eve, please, Patricia said. Her voice was desperate now. We're going to lose everything. Our house, our business, everything we've worked for. You can help us. You have the money. I turned back, looked at her. You're right, I said. I do have the money. And I'm not giving you a dime. Baby, I walked out of that coffee shop and I felt free. Lighter. Like I'd been carrying a weight for 5 years and finally put it down. Daniel called me that night. Eve, please, we can work this out. Come home. We'll figure it out together. No, I said. I'm not coming home. Not yet. Maybe not ever. What are you saying? I'm saying I need to think about whether this marriage is worth saving. Eve, you let them treat me like garbage, Daniel, for 5 years. And now you want me to save them? What about me? Who's been saving me? He was quiet. I've been saving myself, I said, while you all counted me out. Honey, I filed for separation 2 weeks later. Not divorce. Not yet. Just separation. I moved into my own place, a beautiful condo downtown. 2 bedrooms, floor-to-ceiling windows, a view of the city. I furnished it with expensive things, the kind of things Melissa used to brag about, and I started living, really living. I traveled. Paris, Tokyo, Barcelona, places I'd always dreamed of but could never afford. I started a new business, a consulting firm for teachers who wanted to build their own educational platforms. I invested, smartly, carefully. My $1.5 million became $2 million, then $2.5 million. And Daniel's family? They lost the house, had to sell the business, moved into a small apartment. Melissa called me once. Eve, please, my mom's devastated. Can't you help? You have so much money. I do, I said. And it's mine. I earned it, while your family was telling me I wasn't good enough. We made mistakes. You didn't make mistakes, I said. You made choices. You chose to be cruel, and now you're living with the consequences. She hung up on me. Daniel and I met for coffee 6 months after the separation. He looked different, tired, older. How are you? I asked. Surviving, he said. Moved in with my parents, helping them get back on their feet. I nodded. I'm sorry, Eve, he said, for everything. You were right. I let them treat you terribly. I was a coward. I should have stood up for you, every single time. And I didn't. No, I said, you didn't. Can we try again? He asked. I've changed. I see things differently now. I see you differently. I looked at him, this man I'd loved, who'd hurt me, who'd let others hurt me. No, Daniel, I said gently. We can't. Why not? Because you only see me differently now because I have money, because I'm successful. But I was always valuable. I was always enough. And you should have seen that before. He started crying, right there in the coffee shop. I'm so sorry. I know, I said, and I forgive you. But forgiving you doesn't mean going back. Baby, I filed for divorce a month later. It was amicable. Quick. We split what little we'd had together. He didn't ask for any of my business money. Knew he had no right to it. And I moved on. It's been 3 years now, honey. 3 years since I walked away. And my life, it's beautiful. I'm engaged now. To a wonderful man named Marcus. He's a teacher too. 10th grade history. He knew me before the money. Fell in love with me when I was still just a teacher. He treats me like I'm valuable, like I matter, like I'm enough. I still run my consulting business. Help teachers build their dreams, make their own money, find their own freedom. And Daniel's family? I heard Patricia had to get a job at a department store. Retail. The same kind of work she used to look down on. Melissa moved back home. Single. Struggling. And Daniel? He's okay. We're not friends, but we're not enemies either. He's dating someone new. I hope he treats her better than he treated me. Sometimes people ask me if I regret not helping them, if I feel guilty. And honey, I tell them no, not even a little bit. Because they taught me something valuable. They taught me that respect has to be earned, and it has to be given freely, not just when someone's useful to you. They taught me that I don't owe anyone anything, not my money, not my forgiveness, not my second chances. They taught me to value myself, even when others don't. And baby, that lesson was worth more than any amount of money. Final reflections. Honey, if you take anything from my story, take this. Never let anyone make you feel small. Never let anyone tell you you're not enough. And if they do, prove them wrong. Not for them, for you. Build your empire in silence. Let your success make the noise. And when they come crawling back, because they will, you look them in the eye and you say one word. No. Not because you're cruel, not because you're vindictive, but because you know your worth. And you refuse to let anyone who didn't see it before benefit from it now. Value yourself, baby. Respect yourself. Save yourself. Because nobody else is gonna do it for you. I learned that the hard way, but I learned it. And honey, it set me free.